Okay, it's 4:50 in the morning. It's been snowing. I'm standing up. Now you're probably asking why I'm standing up, or not. And well, the reason for that is that I've got a standing desk now. I've got a new chair. Um, I've got a new keyboard, mouse. I've got a new everything. The reason for that is because my old setup literally was falling apart. My desk was so broken. Like I'm not even joking. It would fall over. New chair because I had a wheel missing and like an arm off the chair missing. So I had to get some new stuff. I got upgrades. I got a standing desk to obviously help. One, on sales calls. Two, generally on calls. And three, it's just good for your posture. You burn more calories standing up. There's many benefits. And so, whilst I can record videos and do low maintenance tasks, I can stand up. That's no problem. So, it's a minute in. 2026 is rolled around and it's the 5th of January. I want to talk on a couple things. What I want to do this year, what I look like at the end of this year, and I want to use this as a comparison to really like see, okay, this is A and this is B at the end of the year. And so I can't really describe to you the character in my head, the person I am, because it's not tangible in reality yet. And so the best way that I can describe the me that I can see is that I'm big, I can fight well, I have a lot of skills that I'm very well rounded at. I make more money than I make now. And just to get a little bit deeper, there's three things that I want to master and focus on this year: physical, mental, emotional, right? And so what I mean by this is I want to focus on the physical, so like my health, my fighting ability. Mental is like my mental resilience, my determination and those kind of things, my discipline. And emotional is being able to be more stoic and have more of a stoic philosophy, and generally like regulate my emotions better. Some of the skills that I want to really master this year is programming, horse riding, because horse riding is pretty cool. Not like the weird horse riding, but like the man horse riding. You know, like I'm going into war with a bow and arrow on the back of a horse, like the Mongols, right? That kind of horse riding. I'd like to learn archery. It's not really up there. Better at fighting. I want to learn Turkish like relatively fluently, better than I do now. Türkçem çok kötü, which I think I just butchered the pronunciation, but that means my Turkish is very bad. And so I want to learn Turkish. Türkçe öğrenmek istiyorum. I'm pretty sure that means I want to learn Turkish. I don't know, like I have this weird skill set at the end of this year where I'm just quite an all-rounded person. The reason being that I'd like to develop these kind of weird, unrelating skills is because Alex Hormozy, I was watching one of his videos and he said that people usually come with a label and everything in that label is who they then identify as. And so, for example, I mean, like rednecks, right? You have like a stereotypical image of a redneck and how rednecks act and all these kind of things. And he then goes on to explain that if you can pick and choose what you want out of each of those packages of identities and all of this kind of stuff, you become your own individual person, and that's also what makes you interesting. And so, for example, I like to wear all black fits, joggers thingy, joggers t-shirt. I've got a Monterex coat, and Monterex generally isn't like a brand that's necessarily like, oh, like that's a good, that's a a posh brand or whatever. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but I mean, if you look at me and you look at like, you know, a bit deeper into me, like, oh wow, that sounds gay. No, I don't mean it like that. But the point that I'm kind of getting at here is like, I've got a lot of things that I wanted to do that because I felt like I was a certain person I couldn't learn how to do, because I felt like I had to stick to this one box, and so I realised that I didn't need to just stick to one box of doing everything like a certain way, and that I'm more of an interesting person if I have all these skills, because I a good man is a complete man, and a complete man is a man who's competent in anything that he does. And so if you do something you're not competent in, then you're not a complete man, and therefore you're not a good man. And so I need to become competent in everything. Communication's another big one. I want to kind of hammer in that a little bit more as well. I think I can speak quite fluently without kind of like messing up my words. I'd like to remove some more filler words. And a lot of the kind of stutters I do is just I completely wiped it out at first, but then getting back into sales, I kind of learned that, like, okay, having small phrases or like kind of words that you might stutter on a little bit makes you sound a bit more human, makes you more agreeable, these kind of things, especially on cold calls. It's really weird, I can't explain, it's like a tactical stutter, and it's just kind of been ingrained into me, which I don't know whether it's a good or bad thing, but I'd like to have more control over it as well, because now it's kind of automatic, especially when I'm in certain kind of states of mind. Right now I'm in a very boom 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 state of mind, and so this is the kind of mind where I'm like, I want to work, and everything to do with like work is kind of, I can't even explain it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let me have a bit of a coffee break. Okay, so back to it. I've actually noticed that the times where I'm the most successful, and I hope this table isn't too loud, I'm literally putting this down right now to sit. The times where I was most successful are the times where I had the most tawakkul and taqwa, right? And so what that means for anyone that doesn't understand the Islamic lingo is that tawakkul is essentially trusting God, and taqwa is like the remembrance of God. Okay, and so I realised that I was the most successful during the periods of my life where I had trust in God and remembrance in God, and I feel like I need to kind of regain that aspect of me. Not regain, but build it better and bring it back new. And so I had a little idea for a side project, which was that I wanted to build an app where you could set a time, super simple concept, which can obviously be expanded on. You set an amount of time, an interval time, if that makes sense, like 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. And every 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, your phone will lock. It will put like a Quran verse. Flipping hell. Obviously it'll have your timer, so you can have it like 60 seconds lock, 120 seconds lock, and all that kind of stuff. Or it could put, so like maybe hadith on there or something. Or it could even just be like a look around and appreciate Allah's creation, right? And so I kind of want to make something like this where it's just super simple to start off with, and I can expand on it if it obviously becomes something that's of interest, but I kind of want to document that progress on YouTube. So I might do like a short series. I'm thinking about starting doing it after this video, but I just want to upload something for 2026, and you know, I've realised in the past like couple of months, just thinking, you actually, and I want everyone to remember this watching, you don't need to fit any certain criteria that other people might want you to fit, because you aren't living in their life, they're living in yours. And as weird as that kind of sounds, you are you, and you are seeing the world from your perspective, which means everyone is in your world to a degree, right? Obviously, there's like a line that you must draw when it comes to like Allah, right? Like this is Allah's dunya, like this is the test. But when you really think about it, don't live to impress another person. Don't live to match up to a certain identity. You don't need to become a certain type of way and then adopt all of that certain type of ways, thinking, beliefs, and all of that kind of stuff. You can be your own individual. You can have no friends. You can have friends. You can have whatever you want. Whoever you want to be, you can be. You can be a million different types of people, and that's what makes you interesting. And so, to a degree, stay out of trouble. Make sure that you stay safe. And I guess just remember that, like, you actually just don't need to. You don't need to just eat what's out of the box. You can go and find your own stuff and eat that instead, if that makes sense. But I'm not going to drag this on for too long. You understand the point I'm making. This is going to get uploaded. It's now 5:03 in the morning, and I'm going to start working on this like program or this concept if I get around to it.